and
yeah.
really just dive into these playoffs head first.
Yeah, this is a really good match. I was actually excited to see this one. I think a lot of people have been sleeping on the pack and II and the teams from Group A. And Grin Eclipse's resurgence is really nice to see, especially D Carter being allowed to play again. He's a pretty good catalyst for success for the team. So
Well,
we'll
and when
see
you
what
give him
happens.
the Zyra Khan, you can't go too wrong with that, right?
Absolutely. I like to see what we're looking at for sustain, just because I don't know. How do you think bot lane goes here?
Honestly, I really think it's going to be hard. I mean, I think that level 3 is going to be a telling factor for the side of the pack because once you get the level 3 with the Zyra and the Tristana, you can immediately kill somebody with that bomb. And especially with the lethal tempo, you can proc it super quick. So while they're still being rooted by the vines, you can get that proc off. And even once you get to level 3, you have that double jump. So it gives you a lot of viability in the lethality in the lane. But I do think that Zaya and Rakan have more sustainability and also are able to bring a little bit more to the lane in the early stages at least. Now, with the range and everything that Tristana does end up getting, it does help her a lot in that matchup. But I do think the combination and the sheer power that Rakan and Zaya bring is just a
Looks
little much for them. But it's all going to be about mechanical skill. Like we said, a lot of these matchups are going to be about how these players are reacting to the lane they're in today and what they woke up, what was in their breakfast, and how they're mentally prepared for this game.
And Crimson Gravity just pulling off a little drive-by there. Tried to invade the Raptors real quick for Mundo.
Yeah, and just a little bit of aggression here coming out of Crimson Gravity. I like to see the press into the enemy jungle so early. Mundo is going to go ahead and back here as well, so he's going to have a free jungle if he wants it. And it does look like he's going to be trying to take that blue from him.
And that is valuable. If you look at the CS numbers, Jarvan has 4 CS. He's done 1 camp. But Mundo
Yeah,
is sitting here on 12 already. The dude is pathing pretty efficiently despite backing so quick. Good decision on his part.
yeah, he definitely is. And the reason why you want to back his Mundo that early on is you do want the double buffs from your jungle items because you have such a hard time clearing early on, especially with the mana sink and the health sink. But here's a nice
Oh, we
engagement
have a trade
top.
coming in. Oregon has to flash. Deity follows the flash. The W is going to take him down, and that's first blood. But at the same time, you got Calming Twilight going to hit down the Thorn over here. He's real low on health and mana. I don't know if he wants to stay here, but we might find out. Is anything going to happen? Walks through the miasma, but then you have Raxi
Oh,
and
that
Crimson Gravity
damage.
fighting, but Raxi's winning. He has an item advantage. Misses the Q, and Crimson Gravity barely gets out. And
Things are going
back to
so
normalcy.
well for Grin Eclipse here so early on. These engages and these fights are just going all in their favor. Deity just making the god play in the top lane, getting Oregon caught a little overextended and just pushing him down into the river. And then the engages coming through from just a gigantic Mundo coming up to Crimson Gravity on the J4, and just the damage coming out from those cleavers was insane. So good stuff coming out early from Grin Eclipse, but I'm looking for the bounce back from the pack.
And we do see D Carter taking a little bit of poke from Sume. Like I had mentioned before, there's a little factor of sustain, I think. Grin Eclipse has sustain built into their bot lane, but without any biscuits, Tristana has none. She opted in for the lethal tempo, so we're looking at that. Doran Shield for the natural sustain, but we have another trade coming in. We got the miasma.
Tons
Calming
of damage.
Twilight might take down Thorn solo. Nope, not quite enough. He's low on mana, taking a little bit of minion aggro here. The Q does activate minion aggro on Cassiopeia now, for a while now, most of the season. I think it was a change implemented like at the end of last season.
Yeah, it was, and such a big change for her laning style in the mid lane. But I kind of want to go back to what we were talking about beforehand in the draft and in the picks and bans.
Mhm.
That Cassiopeia lane is actually working out pretty well for Calming Twilight right now. And yeah, it's down by 1 CS, but you have the aggressive stance in the lane. And I like to harp on that a lot because it really defines the style of the lane and the style of play that you bring. Because if you do play that aggressive stance in the lane, you're able to have that priority access for your jungler and have all these other things available to you. But here in the top lane, we have another fight.
Yet another trade going down. Oregon should not be getting hit by these E's, but Grin Eclipse's Deity is taking a lot of minion aggro. Trade there. Rakan
Beautiful
misses the
job.
W, gets caught, manages to E out. Nothing really happening here. A little bit of poke down onto the Tristana. But like I mentioned, she's got Doran Shield, she's got Pot, she's got biscuits. She's good to go.
Yeah, and Angelic Poro actually showing off a little bit of fancy feet there, able to kind of dodge out the knock up from the Rakan, and we'll have to see up here. Crimson Gravity wants to gank so badly, but just can't get
Yeah.
anything off for now.
Yeah, he's really fallen down in CS because of it. Like I understand it. It's actually not bad. Looking at it, I think. Um, if you can see that most of Crimson Gravity's camps are down. Looks like he's waiting on the cooldown for his Krugs too, or they got stolen and he's mad. He's backing now.
And that's the unfortunate reality of being a jungler in League of Legends. Sometimes your camps get stolen, and sometimes you waste all of your time walking across Summoner's Rift. And that's why
Absolutely.
vision is important, folks.
Oh, and Def tries to get the cheeky little jump off. Doesn't get quite enough out of there, and D Carter's taking a good amount of damage.
I'd
A little
like
bit
to
of
see the
hope.
aggressive advances from Def, though. That means that he's looking for those big plays. He's looking to be the playmaker for his team, and
Carter's
here we
looking for something.
go.
Carter gets hooked by the root, but Angelic Poro takes the W, manages to get out. Ignite going down onto Sume.
Uh-oh.
Nothing gonna come out of it, but Jarvan's down in the jungle. Oh, you have Raxi coming up. Deity gets the kill just before Oregon can turn it around. Hits 6, so he was going down either way. But you have the Jarvan going for the invade and response. See what he can get. Looks like he's wrapping around a Thorn, and Thorn gets hit by the flag and drag.
Oh.
Cassiopeia ult comes down. You've got the Conqueror ticking, and Calming Twilight takes down Thorn.
There you go, and good plays coming from both teams, honestly. Oregon caught out again, unfortunately. He's really got to be careful on his positioning in the top lane because I have to say, one thing is scary, and that thing is Urgot that is fed. So we don't want to see, if you're on the side of the pack, you don't want to see that lead getting any bigger. But then on the side of the pack, the return gank in the mid onto Thorn with a good execution from Crimson Gravity, and Calming Twilight is able to pick up that kill. And we've seen a nice spike in damage here for this Cassiopeia, and now having picked up the tier, it's going to be even more sustainable in the lane. So I'm looking for this Cassiopeia to be the main focal point, at least for now, for the side of the pack.
Yeah, if anyone didn't know, Calming Twilight is actually Socks and Thighs. He just name changed. Dude was a pretty focal point for the team throughout most of the season. The pack tends to play around their uh, higher mechanical ceiling Cassiopeia. The Jarvan tends to gank heavily for him. You can see that he's foregone like a 20 CS lead to the side of Mundo in exchange for just getting a single kill on the Cassiopeia.
Yeah, and we'll have to see that it works out for them as well because it can work out very well, especially even against the Mundo. I think Cassiopeia is one of the better picks against him, just for that damage coming out, but as well as just the constant ticking health. Especially like you had mentioned earlier, if you get that Leandries, you get Morellonomicon, you can really do some serious damage to him. So I am looking, like I said, for this mid lane to be a focal point now going into the rest of this game.
All right, and we are looking at about a 1.5 thousand gold lead on the side of Grin Eclipse. No neutral objectives have gone down quite yet. Rift Herald should be spawning in about a minute 15. First dragon is Ocean. Which team wants that dragon more? Oh, but we do have Crimson Gravity coming in, actually. Give me 1 second. Nothing really happens. Def W's over the wall. So, which team wants that first dragon?
I mean, I think honestly, in both of these cases, you want the dragon, and there goes the Cassiopeia.
There's a
Also,
whiff Petrifying Gaze, but it doesn't matter because Calming Twilight just has too much damage. Can't hit his
it
ult,
was
but he
all a
can hit
bait. He
those
was just
Qs.
throwing him out and giving him the quiet safety. But honestly, as both of these teams, you want this Ocean Drake. I think the sustainability is second to none, especially as the first dragon on the board. But if you're picking sides, I definitely think that Grand Eclipse is looking a little bit more longingly for it. Now, it doesn't
Makes
even
sense. They
matter
took it.
because it's immediately gone to the pack, and they make the move and decision to move onto that objective and take it immediately off the board because you don't want that Mundo or that Urgot to have that sustainability and giving mana to.
Oh, Cassiopeia goes for the flash, lands the Q, get the E, and you're down.
Wow.
And real quick, just a couple Twin Fangs, and you're dead. Oh,
That's all
Deity
it
going
really
for the
takes.
flash engage, though, in the top lane. You've got Oregon trying to ult, can't really move much. Deity's trying to shred him down, has the Phage, but no Black Cleaver yet, so he's not going to get any kind of armor shred. So Oregon and Deity just having themselves a little slap fight here. Nothing going to come out of it, but Deity's going to walk away, lick his wounds, and go back in bot lane in the meantime. Not really accomplishing much, going for little trades here and there, but most of the action seems to be going down in these solo lanes right now.
It really is, and as I was pointing out, just to finish my sentence earlier, is the sustainability is really nice on the Syndra just to be able to cast abilities all the time, but it doesn't matter when you're getting smashed on by a Cassiopeia in your lane. Unfortunately, Calming Twilight takes a weird path, goes into the enemy jungle, and runs into a big old Mundo. Health goes down real quick after that, but you do come away with the kill, and you do have a little bit more gold for yourself, as well as a little bit more than a 10 CS lead, getting really close to that first item as well. So those big power spikes are going to be coming through. We do see the Mundo already having finished his first item, sitting at that 77 farm mark, which is amazing for the Mundo itself against this Jarvan. And so that's really a huge part for him. And here we are going to see Crimson maybe getting
We have
caught
a
out a
fight
little
about
bit.
to break down here. We have the W on Thorn. Petrifying Gaze misses, and Thorn gets the knockup. That actually could have been a counter engage if he tried to go. But Crimson Gravity forced to run away. Mundo ran headfirst into him. There's not much vision control on the top side. Most of the vision's being traded, but you have the Flag and Dragon ultimate. You got Def trying to turn it around. Hits Calming Twilight with the uh, the charm, but they turn it around. Crimson Gravity is still not dead. Def has to run away. Crimson Gravity with the Flag and Dragon to a flash, and that knocks him down. Double kill for Crimson Gravity's Jarvan.
Great plays coming from the pack there. Just good communication coming across, and Thorn thinking a little bit more of himself with Def right there in the wings, but turns out it's a little too much to handle. Not enough damage coming out just from Thorn on the Syndra, and they go ahead and clean up those kills as well.
Deity's still trying to trade here. The dude has his Black Cleaver done, so he definitely is at an advantage here.
Yeah, and sitting at 2-0, you feel really confident in the lane. He's also almost got a 20 CS lead on his opponent, so things are looking pretty great for Grin Eclipse right now, especially in that top lane and the jungle matchup. The mid lane a little bit less, but you do have a Syndra, like we said at the beginning of the match. It's literally a press R button, which is going to come in handy at that later mark.
Yeah, absolutely. And he is just sitting there shredding him. Like the default spectator's been just looking top. It's like something's gonna happen up here. You got Iraxi going in. I don't know if he knows whether he's got vision or not, but it looks like he's going to try to take priority away, or he's just going to invade? Raptor? Yep, he knew
I mean,
Raptor's coming.
nobody
That's
can really mess with him at this point, so you really
yeah,
have your free pick of what jungle camps you want to invade. Because
exactly.
Jarvan is just not tanky enough. Even with the red smite, you just can't do enough.
Mundo go where he pleases. And as I say that, Calming Twilight gets the
Ooh.
damage, doesn't even have the Leandries yet, and he's doing so much. Petrifying Gaze hits Thorn, he has to cleanse it out late, but Mundo does get out, so Calming Twilight and Crimson coming over here. Jarvan, Cassiopeia trying to group up with the Swain just in case they go for the invade, but that does give Mundo priority over Rift Herald should he try to start it here. Cassiopeia has to go and retrieve the lane, same as Swain, so we might be looking at a little bit of something here. Thorn takes a little bit of a hit,
I
but
do
gets
like to
out,
see
gets
the
a knockback.
damage coming from Calling Twilight onto the Mundo there, though, because it shows that he can do some good. And man, Angelic Poro is so good at the stutter on that jump. Gets out
Yeah,
every time.
he's buffering it well. Let's see if Thorin gets out of this. Doesn't have the knockback, so Crimson Gravity's getting damage. You got the ultimate coming in. Thorn just going to go down to Twin Fangs, and Calming Twilight picks up another kill.
Well, and the reason why that was a possibility is this Jarvan got his item. He's got the tankiness. We'll see if Def can
Oh, you
pull
got
this
Def
off.
hitting him. You can't buffer out of that. You got the knockdown ultimate from the... Oh my god. That was a pretty good combo.
Yeah, it was, and you could see Def really wanted that the whole time, and he popped the charm early, was able to get the extension on the leap, and then with the knockup was able to finish that off for the Xayah. But here we are, Crimson Gravity trying to make a redeeming play here. Looks like they are just going to clear that wave.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Def has been just going for those over and over and over. Matter. It's just like Thresh. You can make fun of any Thresh that misses 10 hooks in a row, but if he hits one that kills you, who cares?
Yeah, exactly, right? And that can be the game. I was just watching a game the other day. One Thresh hook literally meant the game at 35 minutes into it.
Oh my
So
goodness.
it can mean so much, these picks and
We do
these
have the TP coming in. Crimson Gravity trying to get in position. You got the Dragon down at 2,500, but the pack coming in strong. They have all 5 here. They have vision. Def takes damage. Petrifying Gaze goes down.
Whoa.
Down goes Def, but they get the knockup. Deity misses the dash in. You've got the Dragon going down in the favor of Swain. Raxi's still alive, almost out of the way. Deity gets the kill with the meat grinder. Angelic Poro getting chased down, but Oregon off to the side. He still can do damage. Swain doesn't have the ultimate, though. and everyone gets out. So that is a 2-for-1 in favor of Grin Eclipse, but the Infernal goes to the pack. We're
Yeah,
looking at
and
about a 2,000.
honestly, I think that might be worth it. I mean, you get another dragon there. You're able, well, now with the Rift Herald going in the mid, that's not going to be great, and you're going to get a ton there for Grin Eclipse because they just can't respond yet.
What was the Fear Beyond Death? That's what we're looking for. Been a
Oh,
while.
the
I
yeah,
forgot
the
like forget half of these abilities names. Like Unleash Power. Have you seen Syndra click her outplay button yet?
not well against the Jarvan
I think it was
on the gank there, but it didn't really do much
right.
because he had completed his jungle item, so he had
Right.
that
I
extra health
think it
there.
was hidden during that team fight. I want to say she got an assist on the Jarvan with it.
Yeah, for sure. She definitely got the damage on there. I mean, the AOE was coming through from Thorn, being able to knock out all those balls and be able to get the stuns off on a lot. But it just wasn't enough damage in the entire fight. And unfortunately, I mean, we have to keep kind of coming back to it. This Urgot's getting scary, man. And 3-0-1 is not a lot, but when you're sitting on an Urgot who is almost unkillable at this point and really did a ton in that team fight without really taking much damage, it gets scarier for these later team fights where he just keeps getting items. I mean, he's about to finish his second item. We do have first items pretty much finished across the board, except unfortunately for Thorn on that Syndra, who is getting close, but no, not there yet. But everybody else in the game does have that first item spike. And honestly, that is why we saw so much contest coming out in front of that dragon pit, because they do know they have these power spikes and they're able to use it. So we're looking for more fighting coming up pretty quick, and Crimson Gravity might be trying to go too hard for the scuttle.
We do have a little bit of a chase, but the Cataclysm comes down. You've got the Xayah ultimate. Woo! Oh, Def manages to get out of the Xayah ultimate. Def going down to the Ignite. Thorn gets the ultimate off, but the Petrifying Gaze is too much. Carter trying to 1v3 over here, but he can't. He just has to walk away. So we lose 2-for-1. And we've got Deity getting a bunch of damage down to the top tower. You've got Mundo coming in. Maybe he's going to try to proxy. No, he's just going to take some farm. He's going to defend this, try to escort it in, while Calming Twilight pushes the lane. Same thing for D Carter. He probably thinks he's safe here. Jarvan not really doing a whole lot here with Zyra, unless D Carter tries to get a little over aggressive. And we're back to normal. And you've still got that Syndra, not 100 CS yet. 0-5. We gotta wait out on what he's gonna do. What do you think he has to do to get back in the game?
Oregon here getting caught out though.
I'm not sure Oregon is gonna go down. Yeah, he's gonna get the sustain from his Zonias. He's got his ultimate, or he's just gonna take a ton of damage. Never mind. Deity applies the Black Cleaver and takes him down. There is no health on this Swain yet.
Yeah, not at all. And just kind of looking over the teams here, it's so funny to see because both teams have strengths across the map. You have the jungle and the mid duo there for the side of the pack, but on the side of Grin Eclipse, you have Urgot up in the top lane with 4-0. Your Mundo is super tanky, and your Xayah is getting stronger and stronger by the minute.
Raxi's coming in again. He's looking for something. Calming Twilight misses the Petrifying Gaze, and he goes down. Sadism not popping yet, though. But you've got Crimson Gravity going down. Gets hit by the knockup, and Grin Eclipse is first to the play. They've got priority in the mid lane, so they were able to rotate to this one first. Nothing really to get out of it. No dragon up, but they are sitting on a fresh 4,000 gold lead now.
And I have to say that combo of the Mundo and the Urgot is just things of nightmare. I mean, you never, as a solo player sitting under a tower, you never want to see those two walking up to you because you automatically know it's going to be another tower.
Impressive kiting from Syndra. Okay. They're over here making fun of Thorn. No,
hey,
Carter trying to counter jungle.
He's got the R button. That's all that matters.
He's got his outplay button.
Down onto the Syndra because he picked the Syndra.
Def says, "Fed Cassiopeia. I don't care. I'm gonna walk right up to you. I am Rakan."
Yeah, exactly. you play like you're a 10-1 god all the time, no matter what.
But yeah, it's not even. Does it even seem like it's getting to Poro? He's got a little bit of an item disadvantage here. Carter's almost finished his Zeal item. Poro has not quite yet. He's about down 10 CS, but there's also 3 kill participation that Carter's been involved in. That,
yeah, and Carter is sitting almost 2k gold ahead, which is going to be close to a full item. So it's looking a little bit hard for him.
Did Carter... No, they both have their finished boot, both have finished IE. Carter literally only has the Zeal. That's weird.
And an Infernal Dray going down for Grin Eclipse there super quickly as well. You see the damage coming through now. And Syndra has finished her first item, people. We have a Luden's Echo, and it is game over now. That R button's going to be hitting like a truck.
Absolutely, that is 100% true. It's probably going to be targeted on the Tristana. She's struggling, so if you can take
Although, you got to
AC out
think
of
about the
fights,
tilt factor. Is Thorn going to just try and R calming Twilight over and over again just to try and get the kill on her?
you never know. I think he's HP stacking too hard, so until you see a Void Staff come out of the Syndra, you're probably not likely, but we'll see. But
Tilt can
Tristana
make a
trying to come
person
in.
do crazy
Let's see
things.
if Raxi goes down. He's got the sadism, popped it, ran away. Mundo goes where he pleases.
Yeah, it seems like we had a pretty big fight in the top lane here. Crimson Gravity.
It's okay. Crimson does get rooted, but Def going for the
Ooh!
ultimate. And let's dance. We're going in. Crimson Gravity goes down, saves Oregon by popping the ultimate on a D-Carter so they can't get out and keep chasing.
And the ult popped early there from Oregon in the top lane. They must have been
Def
in a
is about to go
fight there
face first with
with the
Comic Ball.
Urgot, but just didn't have it available when he needed it. And unfortunately, Crimson Gravity draws the short stick there, and you can just see this Mundo having his way with these lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. Oregon does get the knockup. Oh, Death misses the jump. Cassiopeia tries to flash ult, but everyone's turned around.
Ooh,
She's
that
still going to chase him
damage.
down. D. Carter has ultimate back, but he's getting the ticking poison going down. They're going to have to run away. They're not going to get any more damage to this tower. Meanwhile, Thorn is pushing out mid lane. You got Mr. Mundo MD, down in the bot lane, just pushing where he pleases. And we're going to
And
get a
really,
reset
there's no
here.
response you can bring to that Mundo right now. You are still lacking some serious Grievous Wounds items across the board for either team, honestly, because you do have a lot of sustain on that Swain as well, but not as a high priority as you do need to have that for that Mundo. Because if
Now
you
we're
don't
seeing
have any Grievous Wounds, it can go
Now we see
super bad.
Mundo. He has no flash, no ultimate, and he's pushing with the entire bot side of the jungle warded on the side of the pack.
Yep,
So this
and
guy's got
still
to be
nobody
careful.
has the confidence to do anything about it.
No, that's that's really what it comes down to. He doesn't even have Warmogs done yet. And somebody in chat never saw actually just brought up in chat, nobody has bought Grievous Wounds yet.
Well, yeah, and that's what I was just talking about. Is like there's nobody even trying to combat this Mundo right now with Grievous Wounds. Yeah, it maybe is a little bit later game focus, but I think to be honest, you need to if he's doing so much damage right now and is so tankable, you need to be able to take him down. And you need that Grievous Wounds.
I mean, both teams are sitting on it, right? You've got an Urgot and a Mundo on one team. You've got a Swain and a Cassiopeia on the other. So at least putting like a Morello onto the Zyro would be nice. Just spending 800 gold of your massive gold lead on an Executioner's calling for D. Carter. Be really
Yeah, or
massive, especially
anything.
with the AoE of your W and your passive with your feathers.
Well, exactly, and it lends more to what I was saying. Is like both teams have sustainability on their sides, but neither team is making the conscious effort to get that Grievous Wound stacking and being
Yeah.
able to help their team as a whole.
Yeah, but Neversaw really has had a good point there. Cassio needs about 4 items to tread that tank line. She's already got Rylai's and Seraph's Embrace completed. So you're probably looking at Morello and Haunting Guys / Landry's Torment to get this done, get that percent HP damage
Yeah,
onto the
and
health
now that the
balls.
static shiv is completed there for the Zaya, that's a ton more burst damage coming through for an ADC who's already super far ahead and already has a ton of damage. So good item choices there, I believe. I do think there could have been some better choices, but going with the static shiv on the Zaya is never a bad thing. You can do a lot with it, especially with the clear speed. And we do see the Hex Drinker coming from the Urgot, so bringing a little bit more damage, but as well as giving him that magic resist that he so needs.
Yeah, and we are looking at a Death Stance and a Black Cleaver on this man, so he's pretty fed. He hasn't died yet. He's got a 600 gold bounty. Carter's got a 300 gold bounty. It's really just Thorn has to get a couple kills under his belt, get a little bit more resources, because the dude's only at 133 CS. We might look to see if the game stalls out to maybe throw Thorn in a side lane where it's safe. Maybe once one of their towers finally goes down. And that really is saying something. Like the gold lead comes from that 6,000 gold lead, right? From tower control. Because the pack has only 2 less kills and they've got 1 more dragon. So it's got to come from that objective control in the CS for the other lanes, right?
Exactly, and oh my goodness, a catch out
At the
here.
same time, down goes Crimson Gravity. We don't even have enough time to discuss the game and the dude just pops.
Yeah, and that's the problem with going Jarvan. Yeah, he's a pseudo tank. You can buy some tanky items on him, but he doesn't have the survivability. And as there, yeah, you are against 5 members, but he blew up like a balloon. And a Infernal Drake going over to Grin Eclipse, having 2 on the board for themselves. That damage is going to be insane.
All right, but we have Deity getting caught out, but Def gets a huge knockup. Sume gets a little bit out of there. D Carter dodges it with Xayah ultimate, and we still have only one person down, but Jarvan's going to be back up here soon. Let's see if these guys heal up, see if they try to mount a defense, but it doesn't look like they're going to. It looks like Raxi's just going to go where he pleases, take that bot tower, reset, and look to get these lanes pushed out, because you do have mid lane coming in, you have top lane coming in, and Angelic Poro is starting to just shove out bot lane here.
Well, and I do like the defensive mindset there for Grin Eclipse is the fact that they don't want to overextend too far, like Calming Twilight is doing right now.
Calming Twilight, trying to have some fancy footwork, lands the Q, lands the Twin Fang, but the big knockup. Thorn's doing a lot of damage. Crimson Gravity manages to get the flash out of Thorn and take him down anyways, but he has to drop flashes out. Raxi's still chasing. Let's see if he can get a flag and drag before he dies, but Raxi's starting up the Baron, and the knockup? Alright, Baron saved Crimson Gravity, so he's good to go. Deity's trying to chase him down in the jungle. This is going to be all Grin vision control. And this is a double Infernal versus one Infernal and an Ocean. Where do you think we see vision start to be prioritized? Where do we see the next fight break out?
Well, I definitely think it's going to have to be about this Baron. I mean, we are 27 minutes in. You've got double Infernal Drakes on Grin Eclipse, and that's going to be a beacon to want to fight. And what is the best way to get a team to fight in League of Legends? It's to either bait or do Baron. And so when you start prioritizing your vision around the Baron pit and you start trying to prioritize your area around the Baron pit, you really do lend to these team fights. And I think right now, with the game state and the item spikes that Grin Eclipse is having, I think they will whole-handedly win one of these fights. So I do expect them to start focusing around this Baron pit.
Yeah, absolutely. And Calming Twilight
Ooh.
misses the Petrifying Gaze, so there's that cooldown.
There's a lot of just wishing. I feel like they're fishing with their ultimates here, especially Calming Twilight, just trying to land the petrification, and it's just not working out for him.
Yeah, and it is playoffs. Do we blame it on nerves?
I mean, it can be. It also can be just wanting to make the play, just being a little too excited. Because I do feel like with these players, yeah, it is playoffs. You do feel a big bump in energy because of that, but they want to be the star. They want to make these plays for their team. And that is one way to try and do it, is just to try to make these crazy plays. But Crimson Gravity walking into a death push again.
And we have D Carter on a rampage, gets the ultimate off. That's right. Baron Pit. Grin Eclipse has total control of this, but they're looking for more. They've got the tower diving. Cassiopeia is forced to walk away, and Mundo on the other side of the map is just
jungle,
still doing what he pleases. He's still just chasing the Tristana. Oh, Tristana. Was that tower? Was that a tower you wanted to help you stay alive? I don't think so.
And where are
Tristana's forced to W away, but at the same time, Oregon's getting dove. D Carter doesn't have ult, but it doesn't matter. Def going for the knockup. Oregon has to use his Zonias, but he goes down anyways, and Calming Twilight gets under his Nexus turrets. Is he going to live? Deity takes a little tower shot. Petrifying Gaze misses again, and down goes Cassiopeia. And this looks like it's all clean for Grin. Can they actually end the game off this, though? We'll see. And top tower goes down. Mundo bringing in pot.
For the team
death timers are still so short. But Jarvan trying his best. Raxi just doesn't care. He's got a 4-level lead. He's just gonna smack him. Throw cleavers. Kill him. You got the Zonias going down, but there's nothing you can do. Jarvan tries to ult and gets nothing for it. Raxi is massive.
And I gotta ask, I mean, have you ever played against the Mundo before? Because right now it just doesn't seem so. And it's unfortunate to see that the jungle Mundo is split pushing, and it means that you still can't do anything about the objectives, even though their jungle is nowhere nearby. And the whole base just falls to tatters. You only have your mid inhibitor tower and inhib left, and your 2 Nexus turrets. And that is hugely important because these 2 sideways are just going to keep getting smashed in by these super minions. And it means that Grin Eclipse can do whatever they want in this game state right now. And that means could be the objectives, it could be rushing for the base, it could just be going for kills. And we'll have to see in these next couple minutes where they want to go, or if they just want to finish this out quickly for themselves.
And it's looking like it. You've got the vision control going down. You've got the next dragon going down over here. It's a mountain, which is just going to help them shred the towers. But wisely, the pack understands they're probably not going to be able to contest this dragon. But at the same time, they need that Baron control, right? Like the game could just end without them being able to do anything if
Well,
they
that's the
allow the Baron to
double-edged
go down.
sword, right? Of Barons in the late game, especially when you're down. It's like, do you commit everything to try and stop them from doing Baron, or do you just try to turtle and survive the Baron? Because Baron can be so impactful in these fights, and especially the siege when you have 2 super minion waves burning down your base. So another dragon going over to the side of Grin Eclipse, and that's going to be a Mountain Drake. And to be honest, things are looking super grim here for the side of the pack.
Yeah, you're looking at what, a 12,000 gold differential here. So realistically, do you try to fight under your mid inhibitor turret, or do you have to just wait for Nexus turrets and hope for the best
To
and
be
hope you can
honest, I
grind the
think
game?
that if you lose that third inhib, you lose. I mean, obviously this game is in a dire state anyways, but if you lose that third inhib, you lose the game because you lose all pressure whatsoever. And right now, Grand Eclipse is going to start up this Baron, and it doesn't look like the pack are going to be able to do
Yeah.
anything
Looks
about
like
it.
Mundo's pinging his smite. He's level 18. He has the 1,000 damage smite, so easy peasy. He doesn't even bother. He waits till it's down to like 300 HP to smite it. And it just goes down. So that's Baron push. So we really just need to see a comeback get mounted here. It's not super likely, but we can always hope, can't we?
And we can, and it might be one of the greatest team fights we'll ever see in League of Legends, but we'll have to see how this works out. Calming Twilight waiting in the wings, and here we go. This could be the stand.
Cassiopeia is looking for a pick, but you got Deity taking a good amount of damage. Zyra ult going down. Thor caught by it. And then
Ooh.
Cassiopeia ult actually hits, and Araxi's getting zoned off, but Def coming in. You've got Deity taking the tower aggro, but he gets out of it. Now you've got Thorn off to the side doing some damage. Picks off the Tristana. Trist is forced out of the fight, and Crimson Gravity goes down. And Oregon just doesn't live long enough.
Look at
Sume
this
trying to
window.
survive, but they're just going to tower dive. They're going to take him down, and they're going to end the game. Grin Eclipse going up 1-0 to get us started here tonight.
And
We're
there
going to
is
get down
nothing
one
you
top
can
tower.
do. There's nothing you can do against this team comp. They tried so hard across the board to even get a kill in that fight, and nobody is low. They did get Def in the end, but unfortunate, just too many carries going so strong for the side of Grin Eclipse. And what a game to start us off here in the playoffs.